Introduce yourselves.
I'm Leslie Bruckman, and I am 31 years old, and I live in Owasso, Michigan, and have since 4th grade.
I am Allie Martin. I am 25 years old. I grew up here in Owasso, but actually I lived in Grand Rapids for the last 8 years.
What do you do for a living, and what are the best and or worst things about your job?
I own my own business, Nom Nom Sweeties, and I make cakes and cookies and all sorts of fun stuff, chocolate, candy. Best part of my job is getting to do what I love, actually. The worst part is not being exactly what I want it to be, which is a full-scale bakery with a shop and everything.
Can you reread the question, please?
What do you do for a living, and what are the best and or worst things about your job?
Oh, okay. So I am the lab supervisor at an analytical laboratory, and it's really exciting a lot of the times because I get to work on some cutting edge things. I get to be involved in a lot of studies. So some very new stuff, which is really exciting for me because I love learning new things. But it is not baking, which is what I prefer to be doing. And it can be really stressful in a way that I don't enjoy. I enjoy the fast-paced moving of the kitchen, not the stressful impending doom that the lab can be. I'm sorry, pathogens get out, and I don't want to be involved when they do.
Do you have your own cake business? If yes, tell us about it. How'd you get started? Yeah,
I do have my own cake business that I run out of my home. I started in May of 2011, and I started with just truffles, and that was after years of doing truffles and candies and cakes and stuff for family events and friends and stuff, and just kind of got a lot of push towards the beginning of starting my business for people who believed in me and thought that I should. So I just ran with it. I was actually on maternity leave at the pharmacy and just didn't go back and just ran with it. And now I am where I am now, and I have a cake that's been published in a magazine, and I hope to grow it even bigger.
I do not own my own cake business. I have done baked goods in the past on the side for family and friends, and I have sold a lot of things through family, friends, and who've told their church groups and stuff like that. But that was mostly on the side to supplement my income, particularly when I was still in college. That was a good money maker.
tell us about your food industry experience. Do you have pastry or other baking experience besides cakes, pies, cookies, etc.?
Okay, my favorite thing to make is pies, actually. I love doing intricate detail work on the crusts. I don't know why I like that so much, but I just love doing the different layers on the crust, all the different types of sugar. I like to write people's names out on crusts. I have worked in a lot of different places in the food industry. I've waited tables. I managed at a Papa John's for a year. That was miserable. Doing pizza, that wasn't very fun. But I can make a good pizza. I also managed at an ice cream shop for 7 years, and I did all of their cakes, and I can make a really good cone. It's really fun to make the cones that are stuck in there. You can just shake up and down, upside down, and they stay in the cone. And now I work doing food pathogen testing, so now I'm on the back end of things.
I do actually, when you mentioned pizza, I remembered that for a little bit I worked at Domino's for about a year before I started at the pharmacy. So I have a little bit of food experience, and we do make a pretty awesome pizza too. So, and then besides that, just running my business and what I've learned, the ins and outs of all that. But for the most part, I'm all self-taught. I haven't taken any classes, and just began to learn how to bake and even to learn how to cook right after I had my daughter. And that was all taught by her grandmother, Chris, who is one of my best friends. And so started from there and just kind of grew and learned what I can and what I, can, can't think of the word. But yeah, just as many tutorials and lessons online that I can. So, yeah.
Do you have a team name?
We can't come up with a team name. We've been trying now for a couple of weeks, and we've got nothing that doesn't sound completely cheesy, which I guess is us, but we're not doing it. So no team name yet.
Yeah, maybe we'll think of one before the show starts.
I'll ask my friends. What is your relationship with your teammate? Describe your relationship too.
We are friends. We met approximately 3 years ago, give or take a few months, actually at my baby shower. I went to high school with her husband, and we were really good friends for a little while there, and then we kind of grew apart, and then we met through my son's parent, my spouse, and they went to school together for a really long time.
Yep. So we first met at Leslie's baby shower. I'm just gonna recap just for funsies.
Okay.
We first met at Leslie's baby shower about 3 years ago and just kind of hit it off. I personally was very nervous to meet Leslie for the first time because I'd been such good friends with her spouse all through high school and growing up, and I'd heard stories from when my husband went to high school with Leslie, so I was really nervous to meet her, and we seemed to hit it off just fine. And a year later, she ended up making a bunch of truffles for my wedding, and we've just been good friends ever since.
How do you work as a team? Describe your roles in the kitchen.
Well, we've actually not gotten the chance to really work together.
Not too much.
Not too much.
We work together just a tiny little bit, but we've kind of just verbally hashed out where we're comfortable with each other in the kitchen. I'm more the baker and kind of the bossy pants. I'm a bit of a control freak, and that's all right with me. And Leslie is definitely the decorator of the team. She is very skilled with the decorating.
I'm usually pretty easygoing too until it gets a little stressful, and then I kind of get a little bossy pants too. So we'll have to see how that goes. We figured that there are going to be a few challenges with having never worked together, but I think we'll be able to work it out. It'll be interesting for sure.
Would you ever open up a bakery storefront together or go into business together? Would you be willing to relocate?
We would definitely open up a storefront together. That is something we have talked on and off about for years now, and it's just not happened. When we first discussed it, I was still in college, and Leslie was ready. She was ready for her business now, and I was still too nervous to leave college, so I insisted on finishing, and now that I'm finished, it just hasn't happened yet. So I would relocate if it meant moving to Owasso, if it meant moving out of the state. I would go anywhere to make this dream come true.
And in the first time I watched The Cake Boss, I on TV, Buddy, he's like pretty much my idol, and seeing how his bakery is with all of his family and friends, that is what I want more in life than anything at this point. I want my children to work in my bakery and to be able to hand it off to them. My daughter is actually pretty excited about going to culinary school when she graduates. That's her goal right now. It could change because she's only 13, but for her to come work with me would be amazing. I can't wait for it. So I would love to have a bakery with my friend that our families can work in, and I'm willing to really relocate anywhere for that. So yeah,